Here's a little story about how my husband and I decided to lay our own pine board floor in our cabin. Everyone told us that we should do laminate, or we thought about paying a fortune for other hardwood floors, but we just knew that we could figure this out, and we really wanted this light pine look. Once all the boards were cut and measured, we made pilot holes for the antique nails that we would be using. Then I quickly just shot back up all the sawdust so it wouldn't be under the boards. We liquid nailed everything so that it would be super strong hold. Here you can see where my kids wrote all their favorite Bible verses under the floors. We just set the boards, and then we had to quickly set up our wedges to get it really tight before the liquid nail dried. So for our wedges, we just took blocks of wood and screwed it down about 1 inch to 1.5 inches away from the board, depending on the size of your wedge. I used 4 screws here just to make sure that it was really secure. So once your blocks are nice and secure and straight, you just use your wedges and hammer them in to tighten the boards against each other. We had a few that got a little tricky. We had to check the seams, make sure that they weren't pushing up against each other and creating extra ridges. If there are any ridges where the boards become uneven, you want to feel for those and use a piece of wood like Kyle's doing and beat down those seams so they're all really nice and flush. Most of this process, I was just the assistant moving down the line, so when he would get a board tight and nailed in, I would unscrew the block and move it to get ready for him to do the next wedge. We realized that when we did that as a team, it went way faster. Kyle ordered these super cool vintage nails online. They were pretty expensive, but totally worth it, that I'll put a link to below. You can see how we put the pilot holes for the nails on either side of the width of the board, and then we just went probably about 1 foot in between each set of the nails, going all the way down the board. This part again, where we used the wood to make sure it was all super flush, was super helpful. We always made sure that we had 2 wedges screwed in and pushing against the boards before we nailed down the antique nails. So for our 640 square foot cabin, getting the boards cut and laid down and nailed in was probably about 3 to 4 days. Totally on a learning curve as his assistant, and we also have 4 kids that were running around distracting us. But overall, it wasn't that horrible. It was actually really fun once we got the hang of it. It definitely felt like a 2-person job. Kyle went back the next day and rented the sander and sanded all the floors down before we were ready to poly. I'll link below this awesome wool mop thing that he used to put the poly on it, and the poly he used. He did 3 coats on the floor. And here's the finished product. I was so excited when I saw it. It's exactly what I wanted. I really wanted light floors so that the dirt wouldn't show, because I know there's going to be dirty kids running through this little cabin all day long. And we mixed it with the dark wood walls, and I couldn't love it more.